It's been a while. In today's video, I'm going to give you guys an update on why I haven't been posting for a while and then what comes next. I'm really excited about this video, so let's just get right into it. I haven't posted in a while. I think the last post I gave you guys was how much money I made like in a week or something like that, which was crazy. So far the past 2 months the market has been slower. It happens especially in the summertime, especially where I live. It just happens. The summertime is slow. We don't have the winter visitors and people are just out of town because it's so hot. Kids are out on vacation, so naturally the summertime is slow. So I don't have a lot of notary vlogs or anything because it's just been slow. Plus I'm part-time. I think I've talked about this before a couple times, but I've been part-time for 2 years now and I love it. I feel like I get to enjoy notary a lot more now that I'm part-time and I'm not having to stress about I need this many signings a week. And it's just kind of like, I love what I do. I love that it's a side business and a really good side business, and I get to help people, and that just for myself mentally is the perfect place and space right now. So the notary business is still there. It's just a side hustle. It's doing good, and I do want to share vlogs. I don't want to like throw the same redundant vlogs to you guys, so that's why I kind of stopped filming those vlogs because I felt they're redundant and the same things over and over. So it's been kind of hard to find how to vlog my notary business when it's the same thing. And then since it's a side hustle, obviously I don't do that full time anymore, and I'm not like eating, breathing notary. I have other hobbies, other things that I do. I have a full-time job, and I've been lately really focused on redecorating and just adding and making my home beautiful. So I kind of wanted to share that with you guys, but I'm like, this is a notary channel, so. And then I've shared my adoption journey, which we'll get into that right now. But it's just been hard. My mind has been like all over the place. How can I combine all the things that I love into one space that I can share with you guys, and you all love it too? Because I know a lot of you, mainly most of you, are here for the notary stuff, which I will keep posting. I promise that the next video will be the video you've been requesting about the additional streams of income. But it's just been hard because there's so many other things that I want to share and film, and then I feel like I can't. So I've decided that we're gonna try this. I don't want to be a niche specific anymore. I don't want this to be a business channel. I want this to be a me channel. Just like when you go on Instagram and you find a little bit of everything that I like and everything that I am. That's what I want with YouTube. I want you to find the things that I like, the things that I love and enjoy doing, and then the things that bring me income and finances, and then growing my family and adoption and all of that. So glimpse of everything. I will put them everything into like categories, so it's easy for you if you're just here for the notary stuff or just here for the adoption stuff. You can just search that. But yeah, I'm actually really excited because I think I finally nailed down a plan of exactly how I'm gonna do it. So I'm hoping that it will be a lot more active. So that is just a little bit of a background of what's been going on in my mind. The notary business we've covered, so now to adoption. I don't know. I don't think I shared this with you guys. I think I left you guys hanging. Adoption has been a thing that really has kept us very occupied. Obviously, we're past the paperwork stage and we're on the waiting stage. We're awaiting family. But mid-May, we got a case. We said yes, and then we got a phone call that we were matched. And baby boy was due in June, in late June. And so we were thrilled. We only had 5 weeks. Baby could be early, so we were just trying to make sure we had everything, that the house was clean, that we had everything organized in their life before we brought a baby home. So it was a lot of prepping and organizing and buying and going out and making sure we had everything. making sure that we were packed, that all our like paperwork was in order, just everything. And then a couple days before the due date, a day before my birthday on June 20th, we get an email from our lawyer. So birth mom's lawyer emailed our lawyer and just basically said that she was not going to go through with the adoption. And there were, looking back at it, there was a lot of little like red flags that we should have questioned, but when you're in the midst of it, you don't want to, because adoption is hard and you don't want to overstep. You don't want to make it about you, and you should always put the expectant mom and baby before. But then when things like these happen, it's like, I knew it, and it's hard. We kept it pretty tight. We told only like our close family and friends, but that was hard. I think the hardest part, everything was hard, but the hardest part was telling our friends and family. Like, that was hard. We're happy that baby is with his mom and baby is with his siblings. That gives me so much peace and happiness. But it was hard. We grieved it, and now it's August, so now it's been a month and a half. We are in a little bit of a better space, but it's still been hard. The waiting period is hard. The unknowns are hard. There's a lot of hard things, and it takes a toll on your mental health and a lot of aspects in your life. You're not inspired. You're depressed. You're grieving a child you've never met but you loved and you will forever love. And so that is the adoption update. We're back on the waiting list. We've been back for, I want to say, 5 weeks now. We sign on to, so we are signed up with a consultant, an agency, and then a law firm. So we have like multiple avenues, and we've been receiving cases. We haven't been matched, but we are hopeful. Some days I'm more hopeful than others, but at the end of the day, I am faithful that the baby that's supposed to be in our family is gonna find us. But that's that update. So that was not the video that I wanted to come in and film. Obviously, I wanted to film the coming home with baby. That was kind of hard too, like the reality of like all the things that you make in your mind, like how the upcoming holidays are going to be with baby and how old baby is going to be. And we were already looking at Halloween family costumes and Christmas, and just undoing all of that is really hard. So anyways, I don't want to bum anyone. We are in a better headspace, but we're still on the waiting list. Hopeful that we will find our baby. Now for the life update, I guess. Gosh, there's been just so much going on. I want to say like 3 months ago, maybe 2.5, I got diagnosed with endometriosis, which wasn't a shocker. I knew it. I kept telling my OBGYN, I think I have this. I've been telling her for 5 years, 6 years, no more probably. Anyways, she kept telling me no, and apparently endometriosis is something that gets diagnosed when it's very severe, and like stage 3 or 4 when you already have like cysts, because endometriosis cannot be seen through an ultrasound unless you have ovarian cysts, which I have too. Been having endometriosis for like 15 years, and I finally found out. My health was not great. There was a lot of things going on in my gut, so that's how it started. I was like, and I've always had gut issues. Now I know it's because endometriosis, but I've always had gut issues, and I've always been very sensible. Stomach pains all the time, not just cramps, but stomach pains, nausea, all of that. I've had it since I can remember. I used to be like, I was like 12 years old dealing with all of this, going from doctor to doctor. Nobody could tell me why. Nobody could give me an explanation. It was just like, well, take this will help. But nothing was like addressing the problem. Nobody even knew the problem. So now looking back at it, I'm like, oh my God, all those little things made sense. All the pain I felt for years and all the things that I felt for years made sense. So obviously now my symptoms were worse because of the cyst. Cyst makes you feel more pain, and it makes even more gut issues because my endometriosis is at a severe stage. So anyways, I'm taking some medication. I have surgery in a month. I'm hoping and praying, because based on like the test, I went from like a general doctor to an OBGYN to now a specialist for endometriosis, and he's been amazing. But based on like since they found it to now with my specialist, the cysts have like gone down. I think the medication has helped. I also like changed completely my diet, and I think that has helped. And then I'm applying castor oil, and I think that has helped. So I'm praying that I don't need surgery, but if I do, they said it's like a simple surgery procedure. That scares me. I've never had surgery, so that's that. So I also want to incorporate some videos on endometriosis and just awareness, because I feel like it's not talked about enough, and 1 in 10 women have endometriosis and they go 15 to 20 years without a diagnosis, which is incredibly insane, because at this point we have robots and AI, so we should have way better screening of that. But anyways, I am now, like I said, I changed my diet. I am gluten-free and dairy-free. Well, I was vegan once, and then I went from being vegan to vegetarian, and I feel like when I did that, because being vegan actually was like, it helped my endometriosis. It's a very similar diet, so it helped my endometriosis. And I feel like when I went from vegan to vegetarian, and then I started incorporating just chicken and fish, and egg. I don't eat red meat, but just chicken, fish, and egg were the only like meats that I started incorporating. I noticed the shifts. But then I also started incorporating cheese and regular milk and regular butter and things like that. I think that when I went from like that shift, that made it worse. But when I was diagnosed, I realized that the best diet for endometriosis, especially when you have cysts and like it's kind of a flare-up or severe, it is a gluten-free, dairy-free diet. So it's been hard to be not dairy-free. Dairy-free is not so bad. I was dairy-free already. But the gluten-free, that is the hardest, because I love bread. I love bread. I love baking. I love making cookies. It's not like I go crazy with bread, but I really love it. I enjoy it. And so I went from eating bread to not eating bread. I know there's gluten-free options, but I didn't like the gluten-free bread that I tried. And then I do change I can still eat gluten-free pasta. I'm thankful that I like gluten-free pasta and gluten-free pizza. The cauliflower crust one is really good, but still the bread, I haven't found one. I've made gluten-free cakes and gluten-free cookies. Gluten-free banana bread is still iffy, but I'm learning. It's a learning curve. And I went into an anti-inflammatory diet, so like almost no processed foods. I like lowered my sugar intake, no gluten, no dairy, mainly whole foods. I lost like 8 pounds. And being skinny like me, losing 8 pounds is crazy. Like, I can see it in my clothes. Like, I hadn't been this skinny since high school. So that's crazy, but it's normal because I basically detoxed my body of a lot of things. So now I just need to focus on like slowly but surely like gaining the weight as muscle healthy. That's why I feel like I leave YouTube for so long, because there's so many other things that happen and that I am or that I do that I'm like, I just can't focus on one thing when in reality that's only like 10% of my life. That's why it's hard. But if you do follow me on TikTok or Instagram, especially TikTok, that's where I share more about just glimpses of everything. That's where I shared my endometriosis diagnosis. That's where I share some of the food items that I buy and that I eat endometriosis friendly. And it was so nice to open up about that because I found a whole new community of people that have been dealing with that I had no idea, who've had surgery multiple times because of that, and I had no idea. And it's really nice. I feel like that's why I love sharing what I like, everything that I go through, because it's gonna help someone across the screen feel less alone. And when I get those messages like, hey, I'm going through this too, or I went through this too, it's really helpful, especially for me now that I'm going through it, like barely going through it, and I'm so scared of surgery. It was like so comforting hearing from friends that I didn't even know they had that, because a lot of people keep health issues, but specifically like reproductive health issues, specifically women, keep them to themselves. Miscarriages, they keep them to themselves. And I'm like, I understand that, but at the same time, I feel like it should be talked about, because we could build such a strong community if we talked about those things and we helped each other out. And so I got a lot of messages from women around me that have had that surgery multiple times, so that gave me some comfort and strength. But it's still kind of scary to go into surgery. But if I do have to go into surgery, I will probably film a video of like the things that helped me. I was looking at some videos of like things to prep prior to going to make it easier on yourself, things to have with you that'll make it easier for recovery. They told me it was like a 3-4 day recovery, just not like bed rest. And I won't be staying in the hospital overnight. It's just like a 30-minute procedure, and then 30 minutes after that I should be good to go. So that is comforting to know. But that's been the life update. There's been a lot, and so I feel bad when one of y'all like message me on Instagram, because I'm more active on Instagram and TikTok. I post there a lot more, and they're like, hey, we missed your YouTubes, where you've been. And I'm like, shoot, I feel so bad, but it's hard, like I said. But I feel like I've hopefully found a way to incorporate everything, and I don't think we should be like niche specific. I understand when you find like a channel that you really like and it's about something specific that you like, but honestly I feel like I enjoy more the channels that they just talk about everything, life and updates and home decor and just everything that they are, because we're not just one thing. And I think I've said this before, but I don't want to be in just one box, because I'm not, and those boxes just keep adding up. As we get older, we just unlocked a new one, endometriosis, and we're going through adoption. Hopefully soon, go through motherhood. So yeah, it's just evolving and growing, and there's things that you do, and then 5 years down the road it's not your priority anymore. Like Notary, 5 years ago, that's all I was doing, talking about, and now it's like, it's still there, and I love it, and I'm thankful for it, and I'm really, really grateful, because it's given me so many opportunities. And the fact that I can have a full-time job and then have my notary business bring in $2,000-3,000 a month, well, part-time like $2,000 on average, $1,000 a month extra income that typically goes into savings. And then I get to do like home renovations, and I get to like, you know, things that we love, that we enjoy, or go on a vacation. So yeah, just not feel like you're tight. And I think that's the overall goal, is to feel financially freedom. And that looks different to some people. Some people want to have $10,000 in the bank. Some people just want to have their bills paid and enough money to not feel like they can't go out and buy what they want. It looks different to everyone, but at the end of the day, it just should feel like a relief, and it shouldn't feel like it should just feel good. think this video has been long enough. Like I said, this was a big update. Thank you so much if you've watched through the entire video. I truly appreciate you guys. I love getting your messages and connecting with you guys. I do, like I said, plan on being here way more. And if there are any specific videos aside from the additional streams of income, let me know. I will be filming that one next, the streams of income, because I know you guys really want to know. And go ahead and follow my TikTok and my Instagram so you don't miss any content. I do post like different content here and there. I'll like post the same content, but for the most part, I think TikTok is where I post the most, like me going out and about and like little vlogs and like hosting. I love hosting, and like that's where just I post more videos. And then Instagram is where I just more pictures, more stories, more sharing like links and stuff. And then YouTube, we shall begin a beautiful journey. That's what I'm hoping for. Anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you have a beautiful, blessed day. Bye guys.